If you spend a lot of time on content about the Philippines on YouTube, you're going to see a lot of guys standing on beaches and yelling about how great their life is. And some of them, genuinely happy. But some of them are performing happiness for an audience while they're quietly falling apart in private inside. And today, we're going to talk about the difference because nobody else will. By the end of this video, you're going to actually find out what makes expat life really worth living and what quietly destroys it. Because it's not actually being told by bad people. Sometimes the biggest lies are the ones that we tell ourselves. And if you're planning on making this move, you need to know the ones to watch out for. The first lie is the most common one. Once I get there, everything in life is gonna be better. I want to be careful here because I don't want to be cynical. The Philippines changed my life. Completely, genuinely, in ways I couldn't have predicted. But it didn't change me. I came here as the same guy I was when I left the US. Same humor, same stubbornness, same blind spots. And the guys that I've watched here come here and struggle, they all have one thing in common. They believed the location was the solution. They thought the Philippines would fix the loneliness, the emptiness, everything that was broken. But here's what actually happens when you bring unresolved stuff to a new country. The voice in your head just gets louder. Because all the distractions you use to manage it back home, well, they're all gone. No routine, no familiar faces, no comfort zone to hide inside. Just you and whatever you brought with you. The Philippines is going to bring it out. It doesn't repair you. And that's not a criticism. That's an opportunity. But you have to go in with your eyes open. The second lie is the one you see most on YouTube. I gotta be honest, I've been tempted by it too. And it's the performance of happiness. There's pressure in a place like this to appear that you're always winning. It seems to be all over social media. Everybody is living their best life. Always showing the best version of you. The beach, the food, the beautiful wife, the low cost of living. And look, those things are real. I mean, I live them. But what's also real is the day the power goes out for 8 hours and it's 95 degrees and you're sweating, you know? So is the bureaucratic process of certain visa processes. And the isolation that hits when you realize that your entire social circle is on the other side of the world. The guys that are genuinely thriving here, they talk about it. The great stuff and the hard stuff. Because that's what real looks like. The guys who are performing happiness, every video is perfect, every moment is paradise. Every comment gets a living the dream reply. And behind the camera, some of them are miserable, lonely, financially stressed, in a relationship that's transactional, not genuine. But the channel's got to stay positive. That's the brand. I made a decision early on, real talk or nothing. Because the guy watching this, you don't need a highlight reel. You need to know actually what you're walking into. Which brings me to the third lie, the one that does the most damage. I'm moving to the Philippines to get away from it all. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it again until it lands. You cannot run away or outrun yourself. I've watched guys come here running from divorce, or they're running from financial failure, they're running from loneliness, or a life that they didn't have the courage to do something about when they were there. And within 6 months, the same divorce energy, the same loneliness, the same financial issues, and having all these problems just in a warmer climate. Because the common denominator in all their problems was them. Now, I don't say this to be cruel. I say it because it's the most important thing that somebody can tell you before you decide to make the move. The Philippines isn't an escape. It amplifies everything. Everything gets turned up. The good stuff gets better. The bad stuff gets louder. And that means the best possible version of this move starts with honesty. Not about the Philippines, about yourself. What are you carrying? What needs resolving? These are the things you need to think of before you get on the plane. Because the guys that come here and thrive, they didn't come because they were running away from something. They came because they've already done the internal work. And they were ready to build something new. And that's a completely different energy, and you can feel it the moment that they arrive. Now, the fourth lie is the one that costs the most. I'll finally find real love here. And look, you might. I did. My wife is genuine. Our love is real, and I would bet anything on that. You know, for you guys moving here, one thing you need to do is you need to realize that you just don't take crap from your wife. You say something, you know, when I say jump, she needs to say how high. That's it. When I say I'm hungry, she needs to go, what do you want to eat? Isn't that right, honey?
Yeah. No.
If you want sex, you demand it.
Oh.
But make sure you wear protection. But I didn't find it because I came to the Philippines. I found it because I came to the Philippines as a man who knew what I wanted, who took his time, who watched patterns instead of listening to words. A guy who refused to lead with money or desperation. The guys that come here thinking the Philippines is a relationship shortcut, those are the guys that get burnt. Because they're so hungry for connection, so relieved to finally feel wanted. They skip the verification, they skip the discernment, they skip the patience. And 6 months later, they're in a comment section wondering what went wrong and saying the Philippines is the worst place on the planet. Real love isn't a Philippines guarantee. It's a result of showing up as a whole person, not a desperate one. So after all of that, what actually makes expat life worth living? Because I don't want to leave you in the dark on this. Here's what I've learned after almost 4 years. It's not the low cost of living, although that's real and it's significant. It's not the weather. Well, unless you're from the Midwest, then you'll never take warm weather for granted again. It's the intentionality. Living here forces you to be intentional in a way a comfortable life back home never did. You have to choose this every day. You can't sleepwalk through it. And that intentionality, that changes the way you experience everything. The relationships feel more real because you chose them consciously. The daily life feels more meaningful because you built it deliberately. The person you're becoming feels more like you than any version you were back in the routine. That's what makes it worth it, not the beaches. Now, if you're watching this and you're still planning on moving here, I want you to hear something clearly. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm trying to talk you into doing it right. Go in honest about what you're carrying. Go in patient about what you're building. Go in clear about what you're walking toward, not away from, toward. Because the guys that get here and genuinely thrive, they're not coming here for paradise. They came decided. They came whole. They came with their eyes open and their expectations calibrated. And what they found here exceeded every expectation. Not because the Philippines delivered paradise, because they showed up to receive what was actually here. And that's a big difference entirely. Now, if you want to show up ready, I put together a free guide. It's the 10 non-negotiable rules every guy should know before he shows up here. You'll find it in the description below. It's free. Just click on it. It's yours. When it comes up, it'll show the cost, and you need to put in a cost there, but there's already 0. Just put in a 0. Some guys have dropped 10, 15 bucks, but it's not necessary, but I appreciate them completely. And also, if you want to talk through your specific situation, the email is below as well. I answer every email. Also, I put something else together that's in the downloads below. You can get that for free, absolutely. It's the Expat Emergency Checklist. Now, if you haven't seen this one, do check it out. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. And I think you'll also like this one as well. Give them a look. And remember, be excellent to each other. And this was never about the Philippines. It's about how you show up when you get here.